Good morning, MPC kids. We are continuing looking through the book of Mark. Remember, one of those gospel books, one of those books of the Bible that tells us the story of Jesus. And in this story, something really, really crazy happens. I'm going to let the Hellman Pets tell us the story today.
Jesus took Peter, James, and John up a high mountain to be alone. As the men watched, Jesus started to look very different. He transformed and his clothes became really, really white, whiter than any washing machine could make them. The disciples were really surprised, but that's not all that happened. Then two big heroes of God's story, two people who were already in heaven, Moses and Elijah, appeared with Jesus. Peter was kind of scared, but also thought it was really cool and wanted to stay and build some things to honor Elijah, Moses, and Jesus. Then something else happened. A big cloud came over them, and God spoke. "This is my dearly loved son. Listen to him." The cloud left, and when Peter, James, and John looked around, they saw that Elijah and Moses were gone, and only Jesus was with them. As they went back down the mountain, Jesus told them not to tell anyone what they had seen until after he had risen from the dead on Easter.
Whoa! Can you believe all that stuff the disciples saw when Jesus took them to the top of the mountain? Jesus got glowy and transformed in front of their eyes. We call it the transfiguration. And then, as if that wasn't enough, two really important people in the story of our faith, Moses and Elijah, show up. And those people were supposed to be dead or taken up into heaven long before the disciples were even around. So what must they have thought when they saw these big heroes of God's story right there with Jesus? And then even more happened, right? God appeared in a cloud and with this voice telling them about Jesus and telling them that he loved them. What? That was crazy. But you know, before Jesus led them up the mountain, he had given the disciples some bad news. They had just seen him do all these incredible things, healing people, bringing people back from the dead, casting out demons, all those things we've been talking about the last few weeks. And then he said that he was going to suffer and die and come back, but he was going to suffer and die, and that they would suffer because of their faith in him too. And that had to have been pretty scary. But then they went up to the mountain and they saw all this amazing stuff that showed them that Jesus wasn't just a teacher that could do really cool things like heal people, but he was actually the Messiah. He was actually God's son, and really God with us, right? God in human form. That must have blown their minds out of the water, right? Off the mountain. But God did that because he wanted them to know that when they got off that mountaintop and they were back down the hill and life got tough, that Jesus was with them, and that Jesus' promises of new life and his love being with them always were real. And you know, we've seen that promise lately, haven't we? We've gone through some sad things, some scary things, some unknown things, and Jesus has been with us. And in the midst of being fearful or being sad about the things that we're missing out on and the people that we're missing, and fearful of the unknown, Jesus has shown us joy, hasn't he? We've had joy with our families. We've had joy in learning new things. We've had joy in even being able to celebrate, maybe just a little differently than we normally celebrate special occasions like birthdays and things. And you know, this week I asked your parents to send me some pictures of the things that have brought you guys joy. Maybe new things you've tried, celebrations you've had, new parks you've gone to, things you've been able to do while we've been socially distancing that have brought comfort and joy to you. And so thank you for sharing those with us, so that they can bring comfort and joy to all of us right now and be reminders of God's goodness during this uncertain time.